bad after
That's
the
saying
fight.
it's no excuse, bro. I'm
That's
clean.
why.
I'm just
That's
clear.
why they're saying that.
Bro, right
they
now,
have to test better, and then
bro,
you don't test better after the fight. You
time,
test
man.
better during the camp
6 times
or the
in
fight.
3 weeks. 6 times.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because
Yeah.
this guy can't even freaking talk right.
This is my fault. You don't have nothing, bro. This is my fault.
I'm gonna beat the
This is my fault. You don't have nothing.
What?
This is my fault. You don't have nothing, man.
I'm gonna beat.
I mean, you know, hey,
there's 3 weeks left to the fight.
nothing.
3 weeks left to the fight. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing.
With only a few days left in the bout between David Benavidez and David Morrell, the hostility between these two seems to have reached its limit as the two clash during an explosive interview. Meanwhile, amid these brutal back and forths between the fighters, the whole industry appears to be quite keen on this matchup and on its alluring nature based on how it is not every day that two prominent fighters step in the ring to defend their titles, especially if they are both previously unbeaten and hold a serious grudge for one another, which has only amplified after their most recent press conference where both Morrell and Benavidez almost came to a full-out brawl while throwing vicious insults at one another. Sensing this growing contention between the fighters, countless other fighters have also chimed in to share their thoughts, including the potential adversaries of Benavidez like Canelo Alvarez, who despite his less than stellar perception of Benavidez and refusal to fight him regardless of the countless times he has been offered, thinks that he is an immaculate fighter capable of taking anyone down no matter the challenge. Sharing his prediction about this fight, the Mexican King refrained from giving any definitive answer, while emphasizing that both fighters are tremendous in their own regard, which makes the decision of choosing one as a winner very hard. Adding on, he stated that this will be a great fight between two of the best fighters in the light heavyweight division.
Benavidez, Morrell, who wins?
It's gonna be a good fight. It's gonna be a good fight.
Another fighter who stepped in to share his take was none other than Benavidez's next target, Dimitri Bivol, according to whom this fight will most definitely be in Benavidez's favor based on his superior skills and attributes as compared to his opponent. While indirectly poking fun at Morrell, the Russian fighter stated that before the altercation at the press conference, no one really knew anything about him and that he is not as efficient as he might think so. However, still having a somewhat optimistic outlook for this major event in his weight class, Bivol stated that he will be watching it closely to not only witness the conclusion of this rivalry, but also to keep an eye on his next potential adversary.
To be honest, I didn't see anything about this fight, but I know Benavidez, I saw a couple of short clips of Morrell, and it's an interesting fight.
Yeah.
But with this opinion reiterated by countless fighters and experts in the industry, instead of sitting back and focusing solely on the fight at hand, both Morrell and Benavidez have been engaging in tense interviews and brutal confrontations that have stated countless other speculations regarding the entire scenario and the root cause which might be propelling it, and it appears as if some of them might have been answered indirectly during a recent interview with the renowned media combat analyst and reporter Ariel Helwani, where both fighters did not hold back on the terse insults and allegations.
This is my fault. You don't have nothing, bro. This is my fault.
I'm gonna beat the shit out.
This is my fault. You don't have nothing. This is my fault. You don't have nothing, man.
I'm gonna beat the shit out. There's 3 weeks left to the fight. 3 weeks left to the fight. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing.
Bro, I don't care, man. I'm ready for fight tomorrow. I don't care.
Benavidez, who has always maintained his stance about viciously beating down Morrell, once again reaffirmed his comments by calling his opponent out for all the threats that he has made in the past, but has failed to demonstrate on so far. According to Benavidez, with every passing day as the fight comes closer and closer, Morrell looks more agitated and nervous, which is quite contradictory to the behavior that he was showcasing in the months leading up to it. Adding on, he emphasized that although in the past Morrell has made countless bold claims about dropping him as soon as he sees him, he looks rather anxious and scared to even stand before him during all the promotional events and interviews that they have attended so far.
Benavidez, let me... hold on, before you get started, it's funny because he has so much stuff to say before the press conference, all this and that I'm a RoboCop, that he's gonna knock me out, that I don't have nothing. But now look at him, he's scared, he don't have shit to say. What's up with all that you were saying? How come you're not saying all that now? He's there, you can't even talk. He's all
Bro.
he's all nervous.
Bro,
he's all nervous.
bro, you just saying.
Where's all
Bro,
that
you had the robocall, man, you had the robocall. You know what I mean?
Now, what Benavidez tried to allude to here was how during all the events where these two have appeared together for the sake of keeping appearances, especially the press conference and the now viral shoot of their fight promo, he has sensed this immense feeling of trepidation and nervousness from Morrell, who otherwise seems to hold an absurd facade in front of the media about how he is not affected by anything that he is up against and that he will easily take Benavidez down without any hassle. Now, although these are alleged claims, many experts have pointed out that there might be some truth to these, as after analyzing the said clips, it is apparent that despite his attempts at fooling around and trying to look confident, Morrell's body language portrays a completely different story.
Vamos a mirar. ¿Y quién eres tú? ¿Quién eres tú? Yo, ¿qué estás haciendo? ¿Qué estás haciendo? Okay. I want to see it. I want to see him break it. I'm gonna break it. Watch. Well, you want to lose it? Hay que hacerlo aquí. Hay que hacerlo aquí. ¿Qué quieres hacer? ¿Qué quieres hacer? ¿Qué quieres hacer? Aquí estoy enfrente de ti.
Rubbing salt on injury, Benavidez also revealed the details on how even though Morrell tries to pass himself off as a huge legend of the game and a great fighter, he does not have any considerable fan base, resulting in him becoming a less favorable and marketable fighter, which in terms of boxing is something that can have countless adverse effects for any fighter, no matter how skilled or adept you might be. Further proving his comments, Benavidez also stated how due to these particular factors, Morrell is not making any adequate money as he claims to be, and that the majority of the profit from his fights is going to his manager, which is not a good look for any fighter in this business.
Money.
I don't care, bro. I don't care, bro.
How does that feel? How do you feel that you're making less money than your manager?
Listen,
how does that feel?
Okay.
This is the fight you're making the most money. And you're making
3 weeks,
the less
you can do
money
a change
because all your
nothing.
managers are getting more money.
In 3 weeks, you can do a change nothing.
Get out, you watch. They're all gonna cash out. Nobody's gonna be behind you.
Bro, man, you don't have power, bro. You don't have power.
For David Morrell, what is your response to this? Is this
All your
true?
managers are all your managers.
Bullshit.
Biggest fight that
Let's go to the back.
ever gonna get. All your managers are getting more money than you.
Okay.
How does that feel? I thought the managers are with you. I thought the people were with you. How your managers making more money than you? How are they making more money than you?
Morrell, is that true?
How are they making more money?
Bro, listen. Man, ham.
Vowing to put an end to Morrell's career after all the hatred and insults that he has spewed against him and his family for the last couple of years, Benavidez emphasized that for the very first time in his career, he wants to completely annihilate his opponent to the point that he will never step his foot inside the boxing ring again. Though harsh and unrelenting, these claims from Benavidez are nothing new because, from the very beginning when this fight was announced, the fighter issued savage ultimatums for Morrell, most of them bordering on blatant threats of serious physical damage.
It's on.
Power, man.
You can do now.
You have power.
You can do now. I'm gonna retire that. I'm gonna retire that.
You have nothing.
Stop saying all this shit.
That's
Why?
it. That's
Why?
it.
I'm gonna beat
That's
This is actually
bullshit, bro. Bullshit.
That's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna beat you up so you're never gonna come back to boxing.
You can do it, bro. You can do it.
Okay,
You can do it. I'm ready, baby. I'm ready. I'm teaching you the really boxing. I'm teaching you. I'm teaching you. I'm teaching you, bro.
I can't wait. I want you to say that right after the fight. Right after the fight, when I got you on the floor, I want you to say.
Moving on to another serious allegation that was made by Benavidez in this regard was the PED scandal following Morrell, based on the numerous alleged reports that recently surfaced revealing that throughout the entirety of his fight camp, Morrell has consistently used countless performance-enhancing drugs that in hindsight have not only tarnished the image of Morrell as a fighter, but it has also gone on to jeopardize the entire fight. fight, because when a fighter vehemently refuses to get drug tested even after countless efforts, then the entire fight becomes suspicious. Adding on, Benavidez stated that in order to avoid any repercussions, Morrell has stopped this usage and is in a constant effort to dissuade any such claims, which are nothing but pathetic, because this type of attitude will never be acceptable no matter who you are or what achievements you might have garnered throughout your professional career.
Not no more, because we're on this Benavidez testing. But look it, I'm not gonna say nothing. Just look at the track record. I've never been accused by anybody by using steroids. He's been accused by few people using steroids. So that's all I'm gonna say. What we did this camp is we make sure that no sneaky business is going on and all fighters are being tested. We're advocates for clean boxing, and there's not going to be no sneaky shit here because we make sure of it.
However, still prepared to knock out the fighter regardless of him being on PEDs, Benavidez stated that after this development, he will make sure that he puts Morrell down based on how his dirty antics are not good for the overall image of boxing and might portray a false image to the young aspiring fighters. He added that at the end of the day, if a fighter has skills and the appropriate knowledge of the sport, then he can take down anyone, no matter how strong or robust they might be in comparison to him, because according to the famous saying in boxing, styles always make the fights, and if you lack in that aspect, then no matter how much better you are in terms of physicality, you will never hold a chance against your opponent.
You know what I mean? I don't know what they were planning, or they have some sneak going on, but they're not gonna fucking play that with me.
I really don't care about that. Even if it was on steroids, I beat the shit out of them. But, you know, if you're a dirty fighter, you will get exposed. You know what I mean? That's why they were making such a big fucking deal and they didn't want to test. But dirty fighters will be exposed in this game. You know what I mean? And it's not good for the sport and it's not good for people, you know, to use steroids. So, you know, I'm not going to let that shit slide.
Now, although there is very little evidence present to defend these claims and allegations, Benavidez is quite adamant that some foul play might be going on behind the scenes, and that this should be noted by the various responsible authorities. Supporting these assessments made by Benavidez, Morrell's former opponent and the supposed victim of his drug testing debacle, Calvin Henderson recalled his story from their fight way back in 2022, stating that this seems to be a pattern with Morrell, and despite all the claims being made by countless fighters and experts, the responsible authorities and the sanctioning bodies refrain from taking any preventative measures or even holding the fighter accountable for all he has done.
Commissioner, so all right, they get a walkie-talkie, they're talking and go, oh, he doesn't? I'm like, what you talking about? You say you don't have the drug test. I'm like, what? I said, no, tell her to come up here and tell me this in my face. So the WA commission comes up, goes, oh, we're so sorry, we forgot to order the test, so don't worry about it. I said, bull. Now I am worried about it. I said, no, we got to get drug tested. He said, okay, well, the best we can do is order it now and be ready for you after the fight. I said, bet, all right, let's do that. After the fight, guess what? Still no drug test, nothing. The WA is the oldest regular sanctioning body in boxing, and they forget to order a drug test? Come on, man. Stop playing. But you in a situation as a fighter where...
Talking about the heinous schemes that are allegedly used by Morrell and his team, Calvin stated that one thing that has become quite a pattern for them is to wait till the very last minute of the fight in order to not only get out of the situation or pressure they might be in, but to also push their opponents to an uncomfortable corner where they have no choice but to begrudgingly accept the entire situation based on how usually at that stage of things they have already went through their extensive fight camp and the entire negotiations have been done and dusted. That in itself is a very expensive process that cannot be reversed back, no matter how influential you might be, because at that stage you are bound by ironclad contracts.
You had the entire camp, you already weighed in. It's good money too, and for a world title, they don't put you in the corner where you can't say, no, I'm out, you know what I mean? But Benavidez, he's in a different kind of boat. He got more clout, he can kind of, you know, shake things up a little bit. But they put you in a situation where, look, you already had the long camp, training camp, sparring partners. You're already in Minnesota. You're going to fight, and they know that. So they just try to pressure you to do it that way, man.
Elaborating further on his thoughts regarding this issue, Calvin stated that even though according to many people PEDs make you stronger and more powerful, there are countless other things that usually fly under the radar, especially the ability of PEDs to make you more agile. And it's the ability to increase your endurance, which means you can take vast amounts of damage before showing any signs. Warning Benavidez about these particular aspects, Calvin stated that even though there hasn't been any concrete evidence supporting this matter, matter and no official move has been undertaken by the concerned authorities, it is quite evident that there is something suspicious going on at Morrell's camp, and that the same thing is going to happen to Benavidez as well.
Something's definitely fishy. I know Superman only exists in comic books. You know what I mean? Like, these guys got a lot of money behind them, Ron. A lot of money on things out of their control. So of course they're gonna get put in the best situation possible. And so a lot of these guys are cheating, like cheating during count. When I say cheating, like maybe taking something that makes them recover faster. So it doesn't necessarily make them stronger or faster, but it makes them recover quicker. So they're getting back into the gym, doing harder reps, longer reps than everybody else. Everybody else is tired, sore, or injured from training the day before. They're feeling refreshed, ready to go. So ultimately, you get more reps.
Being someone who has been a part of Benavidez's camp from the very start, Jose Benavidez Jr. also thinks that this entire situation goes to show the supposed loopholes that some fighters take in order to be held accountable for anything that they have done. Adding on, he stated that even though at times these processes can be a bit redundant and tiresome, as fighters it is our duty to remain faithful to the game and to respect the countless rules to not only assure that the upcoming fight is fair for both the fighters, but also to maintain the integrity of the sport in general.
I mean, if you're fighting in this category, you know, in this division, and you're gonna fight for a belt, what does it matter if they do random? Do they when I fought Charlo, when I fought Danny Garcia, them motherfuckers, and they're like 3-4 times a week. You gotta be ready, bro. It don't matter. Why are you worried about that? You know, if you're not doing anything you're not supposed to be doing, you shouldn't be worried about that. After Danny Garcia fight, they tested me when I was in New York. Ton of times. I didn't say nothing. I mean, it's a part of the game. You sign up for that.
Meanwhile, sharing his thoughts on how the fight will most probably turn out, Jose Jr. emphasized that all the credit that people have been giving Morrell for the last couple of weeks will come back to haunt him when his brother drops down the fighter in the earlier rounds of the fighting. Opting for choice words for the opposition's fighter, Jose Jr. stated that there is no way that Benavidez will ever lose this fight based on how he is the superior fighter of the two, and that he has immense skills and power that Morrell will never be able to handle, no matter how badly he tries to claim that he might be up for a challenge, when deep down he is a nervous wreck who is resorting to using drugs to get some semblance.
Like I said, I feel like it's gonna maybe last 8 rounds. Bro's gonna, you know, see what he has. Obviously, that's what he does first. See what the guy has. His punches, I don't feel like Morrell's punches are gonna do anything to him. If anything, Morrell's gonna probably be running more than likely. So I mean, we just have to wait and see. But my brother's gonna be 100% guaranteed. I put my money on it. I put everything I have on it that he's gonna be.
Sharing further details on this subject matter, Jose Jr. emphasized that even though Morrell has some skills that might put him in the category of an acceptable fighter, he is nowhere near the level of Benavidez because, throughout the duration of his short professional career, he has not fought a single worthy opponent that might have aided him in getting better. Whereas, looking at the exceptional record possessed by Benavidez, there is no doubt that he is one of the best fighters of this generation, not only based on his unprecedented power and exceptional skills, but also for the fact that in his career he has taken on some of the fiercest fighters in the current era of boxing.
But what about all these other guys that they said they had power? You know, my brother was sparring Triple G when Triple G was in his prime, and he was a kid, and he was, you know, he was right there putting in work. So, I mean, all that talk, all this power, all this people say is they don't really mean nothing. When you're in there and you got a game plan, you're gonna go execute it. Pretty much just said it. To me, he's nothing special.
Yeah.
He's nothing special. I don't see him. How many fights do you have? Like 10 fights or how many?
9. I think this will be his 10th fight.
Fights. I mean, you can't really say someone's a boogeyman, you know, in the game and this and that when you only have 10 fights. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see how he hangs on when he fights my brother.
However, despite all this hostility and allegations that have been directed towards him for the last couple of months, and only increasing in intensity as time goes on, Morrell revealed in his part of the interview that he is seemingly not affected by any of these, and that he is focusing on the upcoming fight without taking on too much stress because he is confident in himself that he is not only fully prepared to take on one of the best fighters in the division in the form of Benavidez, but that he is also ready to show that world how great of a fighter he is, and that after everything that he has achieved, he should not be undermined by anyone in the industry. Expressing these sentiments, Morrell coyly poked fun at Benavidez, stating that he has no personal grudge against the fighter, and that he will be vacationing before the fight based on he sees an easy challenge ahead of him on February 1st.
You know, it's easy, so I don't need that personal. I mean, and in Miami, it's a little bit time, you know. I'm flying this moment right now, like come back Houston, you know, to my training camp, focus. I say, bro, why you stress? I mean, Benavidez is like the simple guy, so you know what I mean. And it's not personal. I mean, my only person is inside the ring, me and him. You know, like outside the ring, I don't care. I mean, you know, it's stupid. Like, why I think him is my man for.
While sharing his version of threats at his opponent, Morrell stated that even though he has nothing personal in this fight, after the incessant disrespectful and rude comments that are being issued by Benavidez, he is not going to sit lightly, as he will be coming at him with everything that he has got, and on the fight night, he will make sure that everyone witnesses the end of David Benavidez, and he kills the fighter and puts a halt to his career.
The only I say is, I mean, bro, for real, I'm killing you, man. Promise you. I mean, you every time you talking shit, every time you say like you're the monster, blah blah blah. You know, you say no, but David Morrell, you are blah blah blah. Okay, you know, you talking whatever you do. I mean, first, bro, kick it. Promise you.
However, while addressing the numerous PED allegations made about him, Morrell fully negated any such claims, stating that they are nothing but false and disrespectful, because not only is he clean at this given moment, but also because throughout the entirety of his training camp, he has followed the mandatory guidelines provided by the official bodies, and that he has not indulged in anything illegal as many people claim to, and the lack of supposed evidence is a testament to him not being a cheater or a dirty fighter, as many people try to paint him to be.
Because you make the fighters take data and then you don't test data after the fight.
That's cute, bro. I'm clean.
That's why they're saying that.
Bro, right now,
test data and then you don't test data after the fight. You test data during the camp or the fight.
3 weeks. 6 times.
Oh yeah.
I'm scared, bro.
Because you fucks like you, you're not supposed to.
Bro, I don't care. I'm clean. I'm not scared. I don't care. I'm clean. I don't care. I'm clean, bro. Right now, come here. I don't care. I'm clean. I don't need it.
Yeah, right now you're clean. Right now you're clean. You make sure of that.
I don't need it. I don't need it, bro. I don't need it.
So in the end, what are your thoughts on this entire drama unfolding between Morrell and Benavidez? And what are your thoughts about the fight at hand? Who do you think will win? Will it be the ferocious Mexican fighter who will have the lead? Or do you think that it will be the underdog who will triumph and will prove all the people wrong? Make sure to tell us about your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe to our channel.